Hey, bros. Um, this is not Gloria Borga, but I kind of wanted to talk about some news because I get really upset when I read articles that don't use citations and that pretty much assert whatever they want um, without any sort of evidence. It's very frustrating to me. Um, I've been following Carl Benjamin since I want to say maybe like 20 at the end of 2014, 2015 maybe. Um, Whenever Gamergate started, and I've quite enjoyed some of his content. I feel like oh man, I feel like his videos on abuse and cults were amazing. Um, I really like it when he isn't emotional and when he's not hyperbolic because sometimes it's hard to share his content with people when he's covering a really important story and it's just soaked with emotion. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have a right to be emotional about these things, and I realize that he's doing this because he can and because he feels like he needs to, and he's not really beholden to anybody, so he can do whatever the frick he wants. But um, I read this article and I got really upset, and I have a independent article pulled up as well that I'd like to discuss. And links, as always, are in the description down below. So let's just jump into it. The Metro says internet troll who sent rape tweet selected as potential UKIP MEP. Now, I feel like that is instantly a dig against him and not giving him any sort of credibility whatsoever. The rape tweet is him saying that he wouldn't rape somebody. So, I mean, if I said that I wouldn't even, you know, commit treason against my country, that's me saying some treasonous stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. So, UKIP announced an internet troll as one of their lead candidates for the forthcoming European elections. Internet troll. Yeah, he's not a. He doesn't read the news. He's not a commentator, a political commentator. He's an internet troll. Carl Benjamin, who has a history of criticizing feminism, Islam, and political correctness, is among the top candidates for the right-wing group. Pretty sure they're more of like a libertarian group because I know that the N-word, nationalism, has a bad connotation, but I don't think that UKIP is a right-wing group. The self-styled free speech activist joined UKIP last year and will stand in the Southwest region. Benjamin, 39, uses the alias Sargon of Akkad and has nearly 1 million subscribers. He has been banned from Twitter for his views and in 2016 caused outrage by sending a rape tweet to Labour MP Jess Phillips. Excuse me. In 2016, he tweeted, "I wouldn't even rape you," to the Labour MP in a message featuring the tag, "Feminism is cancer." I don't think feminism is necessarily cancer. I think that egalitarianism is a good way to look at the world, but I do know that Stalin called feminists useful idiots, and I believe that he used them to cause social unrest in his own country before sending them to the gulag. Phillips said she subsequently received 600 rape threats. That's. I remember watching her on TV talking to a news anchor saying, well, they're not actually they're not actually saying that they want to rape me. They're saying that they won't rape me. So I don't think that those are really threats of rape. more so promises of safety, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to look at that. He has also used racially charged language online and was removed from the crowdfunding website Patreon because of hate speech. He was removed from Patreon because he was on somebody else's channel on another platform and was calling Nazis the N-word. He was saying, "You are acting just like you accuse these people of acting," and then use the racial slur against them. So, just clarifying that because the Metro doesn't want to. Benjamin calls himself a classical liberal and has ranted about the left. He's also ranted about the right. During an online chat with Tommy Robinson, he rejected the idea that the terrorist who killed 50 people at the mosque in Christchurch had been radicalized by far-right groups on the internet. If you read his manifesto, you'll find the same thing. And you'll also find that the media is also doing exactly what he wanted them to do, which is interesting. You would think that after somebody did a horrific thing like that, you would not want to align yourself or fall into line with whatever that person wanted. UKIP stormed a victory in the 2014 European elections, polling 27% of the vote and securing 24 seats. UK has very interesting political structure. I didn't know that 27% mean that you were storming to victory, but I guess securing 24 seats is pretty significant. They are now left with just 7 MEPs after a number left because of infighting and the party's lurch to the right. Leader Gerard Batten has come under fire for appointing EDL founder Robinson as an advisor to the group. The far right winger had wanted to stand to be an MEP, but is banned from holding UKIP party membership because of his past. Batten requested that the National Executive Committee reconsider who it admits as a member, but the vote was delayed because it was deemed a distraction from Brexit. I don't think that Tommy's far right. I don't know how you can assert that without some citations, but okay. Speaking of the shortlist, Batten said, "We went through an exhaustive process to sift over 90 potential candidates down to those the National Executive Committee representatives and I felt were the most suitable. This list is based on a number of factors that we felt would select candidates to fight for a real Brexit after the European elections. UKIP's priority is to have MEPs who will fight to make Brexit happen, and hopefully repeal the anti-meme articles that were just passed." UKIP said they will release a full list of candidates soon. It could still include Mark Meechan, who was fined £800 after filming a pet dog give Nazi salutes. That's probably the fairest that they've been, but also to characterize somebody just by that is, I think, a little disingenuous. The party face an uphill struggle to attract votes against former leader Nigel Farage's new Brexit party. The charismatic frontman claims to have managed to get £750,000 in donations in just 10 days. UKIP has struggled for money in recent years, but claimed they are the original Brexit party and will fight to ensure that the UK does leave the EU. David Lawrence from Hope Not Hate, which monitors hard right groups. What the hell's hard right? If there's far right, which monitors hard right groups, said Benjamin has a history of using vile racist terms and misogynist politics. So it's hardly surprising he would stand for UKIP given how far right they've shifted over the past few years. They sound like a perfect fit. You know, we deal with the same thing in America, where if you say, "I don't like the immigration policies that we currently have in this country," you're automatically racist towards Latinos. I think that's kind of silly. I think that people who want an isolationist ethno-state are pretty messed up, but I can understand why people would want to create a good country for the immigrants that they're letting in. Let's jump over. Let's just jump into this independent article. Oh, look at those pretty blue eyes. Sargon of Akkad, anti-feminist YouTuber, selected as UKIP election candidate. Social media commentator previously. Hey, that's a little bit more fair. Previously drew condemnation from party spokesman over clash with Labour MP Jess Phillips. Hey, that's a little bit more fair. UKIP has selected an anti-feminist Eurosceptic. Again, he's being classified as just anti-feminist, which I guess he is, but, you know, there's more to him than that. Eurosceptic, I think, is very fair. YouTube commentator as a candidate should the UK take part in the European Parliament elections next month. Given how Brexit has been pushed back several times, I see that as a real possibility. Oh, man, my phone's about to go off because I gotta go to work soon. Hold on a second. No jump cuts, son. I hate those things. Carl Benjamin, who posts online videos using the moniker Sargon of Akkad, is one of two candidates the Eurosceptic Party named on Thursday to stand in the Southwest region. We went through an exhaustive process to sift over 190 potential candidates down to those the National Executive Committee representatives, and I felt were, yeah, we read that in the last article. Yep, read that in the last article. Mr. Benjamin has close to 1 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, on which he produces videos criticizing feminism, left-wing politics, and the European Union. He also criticizes far-right politics. He also criticizes, how to put this delicately? He criticizes what he deems as human rights violations in other countries, I guess would be a very good way to characterize that. Gained mainstream attention after being accused of promoting a series of rape threads from Twitter users against Labour MP Jess Phillips in 2016. Ms. Phillips had written, "People talking about raping me isn't funny, but has become somewhat par for the course," on a social media site, leading to Mr. Benjamin replying, "I wouldn't even rape you, Jess Phillips." His followers went on to repeat his statement, and Jess Phillips later tweeted 600 odd notifications talking about my rape in one night. I think Twitter is dead. A UKIP spokesman has previously condemned Mr. Benjamin's comment, telling The Independent at the time he joined the party, the exchange with Miss Phillips was unpleasant. Mr. Benjamin is one of several prominent social media activists to join the party under the leadership of Mr. Batten, who has been accused of pulling the party towards the hard right. There's that word again, hard right. I'm gonna have to do some expert Googling and figure out what the heck is the difference between hard and far when it comes to the political compass. And why don't people use up and down? Like, when people are trying to enforce morals, they're authoritarians. That doesn't mean that they're like on the left or the right, unless it is, you know, doing, unless it has to do with like tax money, unless the tax policies inform the authoritarian moral compass, I guess. I don't know. Mark Meechan, known as Count Dankula, shout out to Jaboy, and noted for the court case surrounding a video he posted online of his girlfriend's pug dog performing Nazi salutes, joined the party last year. Pug dog. Paul Joseph Watson, the editor-at-large of Alex Jones's far-right InfoWars website and YouTuber with more than 1.6 million subscribers, also joined the party in 2018. So, InfoWars is far right, but UKIP is hard right. Gotta let that one cook up there for a little bit. Mr. Batten has also come under fire for appointing anti-Islamic activist Tommy Robinson in an advisory role, a move that caused longtime UKIP leader Nigel Farage to quit the party. The UK is likely to take part in European elections in May after EU leaders agreed to grant a flexible 6-month extension to the Article 50 process on Wednesday. You know, Tommy does more than just rag on Islam, and that's also not really his thing. Tommy was the first person that I heard of talking about the I think the Rotherham cases, where there were grooming gangs in the UK, and the police were covering up a lot of cases of little girls going missing and being sold in prostitution, being abducted in like kebab shops. There were several instances of parents going to the locations they knew their daughters were at and them being arrested because the cops didn't want to get involved because the government didn't want to look like they were being racist. So I don't think that it's fair to criticize Tommy, or rather characterize him in that way, when there's so much more about him than just... Yeah, I can't even say that he's anti-Islamic. So, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this video was good. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking about it. Sorry if I'm a little clunky right now, but this is my first time doing any of this stuff. So, I am going to try to continue making videos. If you like this video, I hope you'll watch some of my other ones. I'm going to try to post something at least once a day, since my You Laugh, You Lose Season 1, Episode 1 wasn't able to be published because it had too much copyrighted content in it. I'll try to make another one, but I'm going to have to wait for a new thread to form for some content before I go do it, because I don't want to just look at the same content that I looked at last night and not laugh, because there's no fun in that. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope you see more of me.